What's up, my beautiful sisters and brothers? It's your girl, Dr. Shonna.
Yo, 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 yo.
I miss you guys. I'm on. And I haven't been on for a while, so I'm pretty excited to be here to talk about this incident at Barnard College with a Black Columbia University student. I think we need to examine this conversation, or at least have this conversation, because there are a lot of factors here, and maybe it's just me, but I had to ask myself, why should I care? Should I even care? And I'm not trying to be funny. But I want to have this conversation with you all because it's important for us to examine this kind of stuff. We have a lot of us on this feed. We have children in college. We have Black male children in college, and they too may encounter some police officers who are a little bit aggressive, or, police officers who might be pumped with adrenaline for the day. I don't know. And we need to be able to have this conversation. So let's talk about what happened at Barnard. First of all, I want to give you guys some background about Barnard College. Barnard College is for women. It is a school that was built way back yonder. I didn't look up the date. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me whatsoever. It's a school that was built way back yonder where women were not able to go to college, at least not that college. And so they had built, not Columbia University, that is. So they had built a sister school to Columbia University. So it's a totally different school with their own financial packages, with their own tuition. It's totally separate. The students are able to take classes at both universities, right? But when they graduate, they get a degree from their college that they are registered in. Barnard, being a all-women's college, we have to take into consideration the type of women that are there. Now, if you go to Barnard College's website and see majority of the women there, majority of the women are PNP. They are pale and privileged. Majority of the women, no shade, I'm just telling you the truth. They are pale and privileged. Barnard doesn't even have a good financial aid package. So if you need financial aid, chances of your ass going to Barnard is slim to none because their endowment is not as big as Columbia University. So they're not trying to bring everybody up in that school. It tells you a little bit something about who they are. Whereas Columbia University, which is directly across from Barnard, has a different culture, a different history, is co-ed, both men and women, and of course, there's PNP people there too, pale and privileged, but they have a little bit more diversity at Columbia University. So let's just be honest, why? Here it is, this individual. What is his name? Somebody tell me his name. I didn't even look up his name. That's how much I don't even care. I didn't look up his name. But this individual is a Black male student at Columbia University. He was studying because Columbia University is just one of those schools that you have to study like 17 hours a day if you're going to pass anything. I know because my daughter goes there. So I know what kind of school it is. And he goes onto this page that all the students go on. It's a group that all the students go on to, and they see where they can get food late at night. Barnard just happened to have some food left over from a little event that they was having, and somebody posted on that Facebook group that food was available if somebody wants to come and eat. So he decided, bet, I'm going to go to Barnard to get some food. So he goes there after 11 o'clock p.m. at night to go get some grub. He hears the police officers yelling out to him, excuse me, sir, whatever they were saying, and he decides at that moment, according to him, on CNN, he decided to ignore them. He said, I knew they were calling me, but I didn't even think about the policy that's in play because they're always harassing me and other students. So at that moment, I decided that I wasn't going to stop and I wasn't going to give them my ID for the moment. So he decided to proceed on to an all-girls campus. Now let me stop right there. Because, some people don't like to face the truth, but we got to face the truth. We got to face the truth. I'm going to stop right there for a minute. You are a Black male. It is after 11 o'clock p.m. and you are entering the campus of an all-girls university and an affluent part of Manhattan. So they don't like to call it Harlem, right? They like to change, when the money changes, the name of the location changes. They don't like to identify as being in Harlem, right? Because they got money over there. So you go to an affluent area of the Upper East Side in Manhattan to go to an affluent university containing P&P students, pale and privileged students, and you are a black man. Do you not know your history? So he decides to ignore the police and walks into this privileged community with a whole bunch of pale and privileged women to go get some food, in which he's entitled to. But the policy also says after 11 o'clock p.m., you have to show your ID. He actually admitted on CNN he made a decision that day that he was not going to show his ID to the police. So the police came through. The police came through, and of course, they did what they do. You know, y'all know how the police are. I don't care if you're a campus police officer, a semi-real police officer, a state police officer, a federal officer. I don't care. Police officers, white or black, Puerto Rican or Asian, they do what they do. You gotta be real about it. So we have to understand police behavior. You're a black male walking onto the campus. They asked you for your ID. You decided to ignore them. So they're gonna puff up their chest. They're gonna get ready to contact you. And that's exactly what they did. They came into that university full-fledged in operation and hemmed him up on the counter. Now, was that wrong? Absolutely. Absolutely. Could they have handled it differently? Absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt. But let me ask you something, people. Was that man playing chess or checkers? Was that Columbia University student playing chess or checkers? See, we got to understand these kind of things. Because now everyone wants to be in an uproar and everyone wants to protest. And that's what students do. And I applaud them. I get it. But too many of us, and we're going to get into this a little bit later, too many of us are not aware of the Fourth Amendment. We hear these things: First Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment. But do we read it? Do we read these amendments and found in the Constitution? Do we have knowledge, working knowledge of an amendment? If we're going to play chess, if we are going to play chess, we have to know what the rules of engagement are. We need to know these things. We have to know what is going to work for us and what is working against us. And this is what we're working with, people. This is what we're working with. We have a community of people who have no idea about history, who have no idea of the law, who have no idea of cases that did not end up good for us, who have no idea of search and seizure, who has no idea of a lot of stuff. You want another case to look up? Why don't you look up Michigan versus Chestnut? Michigan versus Chestnut. That was a case where the guy was in a neighborhood, an impoverished neighborhood, and the police were just following him as he was walking for a long time, an undisclosed amount of time. The police are just following him, and he got a little bit nervous because a lot of us in the hood, we get a little bit nervous when the police is on us, right, for no reason at all. So he started to run. And he was detained. He was arrested and he was detained. And the law says that there is nothing problematic about police pursuits, right? Absence of probable cause and absence of reasonable suspicion. It said nothing is problematic about it. In fact, what it says is it's legal for a cop to follow you, whether he has reason to follow you or not. It is legal for him to ask you questions such as where you're going, what is your name, do you belong around here, what is your address. It's reasonable for him to do that. It's also lawful for us to ignore it, but if he believes that this whole encounter is suspicious, and your character is suspicious, without probable cause, he is allowed to stop you, do a limited search on your body, and detain you until he gets the information he wants. Probable cause, reasonable suspicion. The only person that gets to decide that is a police officer. And the only thing he has to say is there was reason to believe this person may flee, flight risk, is reason to believe this person may harm someone, he's dangerous, and there's reason to believe that destruction of property or destruction of evidence might happen. So as long as the officer believes this, he is within reason. He doesn't have to know this. He doesn't have to have any proof. The only thing he has to do is believe it. Be blessed. I'll see you next week. Hopefully Thursday. See you soon.
Yo.